Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. And as you know, I've always been in the quest for quality of life, freedom, and I boiled it down to four different types: time, financial, location, and health freedom. And once I got that established, I started scouring the globe, seeking people embodying those attributes, learning the lessons and sharing it with the world. So today I'm happy to have Natalie, and she's based in Europe, and she is a coach. She's a mentor. She's embodying all the attributes of emotional health, and it's gonna be a fantastic conversation. And she's also a podcast host of Confidence Mastery. So Natalie, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Christopher. I'm very excited to be here and speak with you and hopefully give your listeners some amazing stuff that they'll take away with them and enjoy.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting because we had connected through Podmatch, and you love just having conversations with your podcast and just sharing it and building out the ecosystem. So tell us your backstory, how you got started, and we'll dive into it.
Yeah. Well, how long you got? As you say, what do you know what I really like about your podcast is the four different aspects. Um, Sorry, I was just trying to kill a mosquito for anybody listening to the clap there. I am very much about time, health, financial, travel, freedom. And in 2011, I quit my corporate job and got on a plane and came to one of the Balearic Islands of Spain. And I didn't realize just how big a thing that was until later on. Someone said to me, "You're so brave." And I just didn't even think about it because I was unhappy. I wasn't enjoying my job. And I thought I need to do something else. So I thought, let me go and explore. And I know that there are so many people, they look at me and they think, and they say to me, I wish I could do that. And you can do that. You can just go, hold on a minute, I'm not enjoying where I'm at. I can go and change things. You don't necessarily have to go quit your job and get on a plane and go to a different country. But for me, travel is such an important part of who I am. And I've been all around the world by myself, and traveling by yourself, it gives you so much confidence and you're able to explore things in such a different way. So like I've been to America and to Thailand, the Caribbean, all over Europe, like either with people but often by myself. So the reason I came to Mallorca was because one of the British party destinations is here. And I'd been to all of the other party destinations in Europe with my friends, and this was kind of like the last place to tick off. So I thought, oh, let's stay here for 3 months. And 12 years later, I'm still living on the island. But it's been a very interesting road. So I started off in the party scene. Um, I was managing and running my friend's bar, and then everything got a bit too crazy. So if you imagine a 24-hour party lifestyle, you are literally all day, every day, and you have to live up to this wild child party girl persona because that's what people keep coming back for. When you run a bar, people come for the experience. They come to enjoy themselves. And I got to a point I was like, I can't keep doing this. I'm going to die. I mean, obviously yourself as an advocate of health as well, you'll know that that kind of thing is not sustainable. So I retrained as a personal trainer, and because I thought, what's the complete opposite of what I can do, what I am doing. And I fell in love with the gym and lifting weights and being a very strong human being. So the power that gives me physically and mentally probably saved my life. I say, the gym saved my life from that lifestyle to what I'm doing now. And
Oh,
that is an integral part of who I am. And
mm,
there's not very many days in the year that I don't go to the gym. So like the lockdowns were very difficult for me, but finding a different way. And then I got into property development with my mum. She's also known as Paula, not just mum. And so we build houses, but what we do in the way we do it is in a way to provide community so that people have communal spaces so they can get to know their neighbours. Because when I was a child, I don't know about you, do you remember like going out to play and you'd be
Yes.
outside all the time and you'd be in and out of each other's houses and the doors would be open and it was just a really nice community vibe. I don't see so much of that anymore. Like people don't know their neighbours' names, they don't say hello to each other. So when I'm in London, and like you're walking down the street and people don't say hello, I'm just a bit like, whoa, what's going on? In Mallorca, like in Spain, everyone says hola, hello, you know. We do property development from that perspective as well, and like wanting to create community. And then I do coaching and mentoring to help people with their confidence, because confidence is the foundation to your success. And what we do is a mixture of business and life coaching. So it's called the triangle of life. It's health, wealth, and happiness. And it's because you are not just your business. Everything else that's in your life outside of your business feeds into how you run your business. So if you're spending too much time working, your relationship may suffer, your relationship with your children may suffer. You may find that you're not enjoying your life so much because you're too busy with your head down. But then equally, if you're spending too much time in the happiness stuff, your business may suffer and then the happiness will suffer. So everything interlinks. And I realized this when I looked at my diary once and I color code my diary. So health is blue, wealth is green, obviously, and happiness is yellow. And I looked at my diary and I said, Natalie, there's no yellow in here. Where's your happy? So I put more yellow in my diary. I've thought about all of the things I enjoy doing. So for me, it's like the gym has to be blue, but it is part happiness. But like reading, socializing, going to the beach, going for walks, going for hikes, being outside. So I put all of those things in. And in a few weeks, lo and behold, my business started doing better. I became happier. My health improved. My mental health improved. I was like, I'm onto something here. So it's been a long road, but every single thing that's happened has helped to build me up to who I am today in the way in which we help people with confidence and health, wealth, and happiness.
Interesting. Yeah, it's all about I feel that if you like movement is essential, like, because when we were kids, after school we just, we had a snack and then we did our homework and went out and played. And now it's like we're just in front of these screens and just, and then it's like we're not breathing correctly and, our posture's terrible. And, so, I feel like movement has to be more an integral part. And then the thing is, I love this health, wealth, happiness. You work on the different quadrants and areas of your life, and you talk about confidence. So with coaching, you teach people how do people unleash their inner confidence?
Yeah. So I believe, and I don't just believe, I know everybody has confidence. You have confidence in you because every single day you get up out of bed and you perform tasks. You shower, you put your clothes on, you drive your car, or you get the bus, you go to work, and you perform so many activities that you once didn't know how to do. So when you were a child, when you learned to walk, you fell over and you stood back up again and carried on, and you fell over and you stood back up again and carried on. So if we think about learning to walk or learning to tie your shoelaces or learning to drive a car, which now is automatic because you just get in and you just go and you do it, people don't realize that takes confidence. So if you can have confidence in those areas of life, you can have confidence in something else and in other areas. So it's all about applying the learning and being open to learning to the new things that you want to do, so that you can transfer the skill that you actually already have and unleash what's inside of you. So if you want to learn how to be a public speaker, and I use this one often because it's often compared to being more feared than death, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because actually, if it came down to it and you were stood there and someone had a gun to your head and said, I'm going to kill you, or you go and speak in front of 1,000 people, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go and speak. You're going to say something. It's all about just learning the system, and it's following a system and following steps and breaking it down. So any big task that you are fearful of, you can break down into easy, manageable steps. So although I'm a very confident person, I still have fear of not having my feet on the ground and in the sea. So some of the things that I've done in the past to get over this fear is by going snorkeling. Is if I'm not learning and growing, how am I possibly able to help other people? And I was in the Cayman Islands, and I thought I can't go all the way to the Cayman Islands and not go snorkeling. Like what an experience that I will miss out on. And rather than thinking I'm going to go and be in the sea without my feet on the floor and nothing to help me, I thought, let me break this down. And I applied my own teaching to myself. So the first thing, all it was literally saying to someone, can you help me get in the sea, please? Now that is the first thing, ask for help. And remind yourself that asking for help isn't weakness. Asking for help makes you stronger and it's going to give you more confidence in the long run. Then the next thing was I had a life jacket. So, it's the same as jumping out of a plane. Don't jump without a parachute, put life jacket on. You do the things. That next thing is learning how to put the goggles on. So by this point, I'm still not getting in the sea. I'm still not in the sea. And then walking to the back of the boat, still not in the sea. It's just the next step, the next logical step. And then it's putting the flippers on. I'm still not in the sea. And then it's going down the ladder. And then I'm in the sea. So if you break it down to it's not the big thing that you're attaining to, it's just that next little step. And that helps you to understand that confidence comes through progress and it comes through learning. So if you can do one small thing, you can do one small thing again, which leads to the next small thing, which then allows you to have the big thing at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, really interesting. And then we talk about this confidence, and what I have two questions. One is, so how do you recognize a lack of confidence or self-esteem in yourself versus others? And what are 3 habits you could build into your daily routine to build confidence?
Yeah. So I always think noticing a lack of confidence in yourself, you'll see when other people are uncomfortable. And I often like to use the example of going to a new networking event. And going to a new networking event can be quite daunting, but you can tell when somebody else feels uncomfortable because they're not making eye contact, they're hiding away in the corner, they're slipping away to the toilets in the breaks, and they're on their phone. All of these little signs. And if you can notice that in someone else, the best way to increase your confidence is to go and help that person. Go and make contact with them and ask them about themselves and what they're there for and introduce yourself. And that's going to, one, help you to feel better about being there, but then you've done a good thing that helps them. So that then increases your confidence.
Yeah.
You'll notice it in yourself if you hold back. If you think, oh, I want to do this thing, and then you keep making excuses for not doing it, or you keep procrastinating. One of my clients, she used to put off doing the big tasks by making a cup of tea and having a biscuit. It was always, I'm not going to do that video yet because I need to have a cup of tea and a biscuit just to calm my nerves. But she knew she was capable because she'd do it after. So it's a case of removing the thing that's making you procrastinate, doing it first, and then using the cup of tea as the reward for having done the task. So if you know that your palms start to get sweaty and your heart beats faster and your mouth gets dry, or maybe you start talking really, really quickly. And I do that because I'm from London. I talk very quickly. But if you notice all of these physiological reactions in your body and you will put off doing something, that's telling you that there's a lack of confidence or a lack of self-esteem there. But you can push through that by telling yourself that you're excited and starting to implement some habits that will help. So one of the things, well, there's 3 things as you asked, I'll give you 3. And we've been talking a lot about in my Confident Entrepreneurs Club this week as well, is visualize. Now, I'm going to just put this out there. I used to think this was an absolute load of rubbish. All of like the woo-woo stuff that's like, the universe and whatnot. But actually there's so much truth to it and there's so much power in it. So on a daily basis, give yourself from 30 seconds to 5 minutes It can be as short as 30 seconds. Do this a few times throughout the day to close your eyes and breathe. Breathing is so powerful. I definitely look into breathing techniques. But breathe and visualize how you are going to feel in the moment that you're doing this task that you want to be confident in. And this is something we learn in speaker training as well, is getting into state. And when you feel that, you embody that person that is that person when you're doing that task. Feel the emotions, feel the adoration, feel the proudness. And when then it happens, you're not going to be surprised by that feeling because you've already become that person by visualizing it. So doing that first thing in the morning, so get those negative thoughts out of your head first thing in the morning, do that throughout the day. Exercise is absolutely vital for confidence. So at least minimum 20 minutes. None of my clients, I will not work with people who won't exercise.
Yeah.
It is the best thing for your physical and mental health. And when you understand how your body functions and how it works and pushing through challenges, your confidence goes through the roof. Like, you look better, you feel better, you have more energy. So even just a 20-minute walk a day, something that you enjoy, is going to make a difference. So visualize the feeling, do some exercise, and spend some time doing some personal development. So whether that is reading a book, listening to podcasts like yours or mine, or doing an online course, spending 5 to 10 minutes, even 5 to 10 minutes a day is going to make a massive difference. Now, it doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours, because that can become overwhelmed. So it's all about adding the little habits in and letting them stack up and letting the compound effect kick in. So if you can do the 3 things of visualizing and 5 to 10 minutes of some personal development every day, imagine how you're going to feel. And you can do that in half an hour a day. Imagine how you're going to feel in 30 days from now. We've all got an extra 30 minutes a day. It's just about finding it and prioritizing.
Yeah, what a great way to end it. And I love this idea of embodying the feeling and just kind of recently I've seen people, they put things out on Twitter, just they say they're putting it out in the universe, either a house or a spouse, relationship or something, and then they just say they're putting it out there and then embodying that feeling. Movement, that's key. Like, it's just when you're physically fit and strong and you're healthy, you that's frees up your mind to do more important tasks. So
it makes you so much more powerful. It gives you so much that you can then give back to the world.
And so how can people contact you, follow you on social media, and reach out to you?
Natalie Arabella Bailey on all of the platforms. I've got long red hair and big muscles. You can't miss me. If you go to my link tree, it's linked tree, and that all the socials are there. And then there's the Confidence Mastery podcast on all the podcast platforms too.
Yeah. And so for all the listeners out there, let's thank Natalie for coming onto the show. All of her resources will be in the links and show notes, and she's on all of the major social media platforms. And check out her podcast, Confidence Mastery. And with that, thanks so much for coming onto the show.
Thank you very much for having me. I very much enjoyed speaking with you. I hope that your listeners have got something great out of this, and that they'll take some time to do those 3 things every day going forward, because confidence is the foundation to your success.